Good morning, good morning, good morning. The content presented on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. All opinions expressed are solely those of the presenter and are based on publicly available information. Investing and trading involve risk, including the potential loss of principal. Always conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment decisions. All right, good people. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Um, we caught some good trades yesterday. On the alarm. Bitcoin set up on an alarm over here. We're getting this breakup from this trend line here. We are pushing into the 382 50% shallow retracement zone right here, where we see that we were rejected in here twice before. I think this time is our go. We started out kind of rough with this with this potential bounce to the upside. We are starting out kind of rough. Trying to get above here. Possible that we have completed 5 waves to the downside in this little section right here. Starting with this sort of symmetrical triangle in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 4, 5 possible. Right now, let's see if we can get this this actual break to the upside again. We've seen 2 similar rejections from the same place, pulled from the local pivot high to local pivot low. So 382 50% retracement right now. We did bounce off of our lower end here. As you can see, we have been holding this pretty steady. Got that bounce there. We got this bounce here yesterday. We got a bounce there also. And it just goes back to the start of this current downtrend that we're in. But again, a little bit of a struggle in here. Things did not go according to plan yesterday. I remember that price action was in here, and I had the VWAP on here, and I was saying if price is going to pull back, it needs to hold here, and it did not go according to plan. When market open, everything that was pushing up yesterday, it did see a sell off, and then it recovered. I did manage to catch this trade here to the upside. I also gave an update on MicroStrategy, because we caught the MicroStrategy pump yesterday morning before it happened. So strategy was a good position. I let you know that I was closing out that strategy position because we were coming into some resistance. I just wanted to go ahead and take my profit on it. All of the FUDing had actually started hitting the market, where every single YouTuber right now is like, he dumped 1.25 billion, or he dumped 1 billion Bitcoin, which is all lies. All lies. I did also do a post on just some information from the filing that was done, but we did catch the pump yesterday on Strat. I am going to cover that in a minute. I was trying to see if we can't get through this 382 and 50% retracement here, a shallow retracement zone here for Bitcoin. But quite interesting. Because we weren't actually paying attention to, I didn't actually look at any of the filings yesterday morning when it came to strategy. Just looked at the price action alone and saw that it was, we recognized that it was actually, it filled the gap, and managed to jump into the long setup there on strategy before the market opened, and just held on to that bias that Bitcoin could get the move up with it. And then once Bitcoin and Strat both hit resistance together, that was where I called it quits at. So while Bitcoin is struggling, you can see right here, you can see we need to, my alarm keeps, I have the alarm set up on it, which is what you heard when I initially started, but I'm looking for momentum to actually break here. Hasn't done anything yet. I think we scraped it briefly right here when I originally had it set here. It scraped it briefly right in here, and so I moved it there because we could see the little swing fail happen here at that 50. I could. So it is struggling a little bit in here. Can see the couple of times in here where it showed some sort of relief coming in from the seller side. Sellers are in control where you see that gray sitting on top. Bears in control. So uh, I will adjust this fib extension if need be, especially if we do start to break down here. I will adjust it because that is not going according to plan. So not going according to plan. Ay, 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 ay. I see strategy could also be about to get a swing failure pattern here. Um, Swing failure on momentum. Okay, so while in this candle low here, I'm actually going to end up getting stopped out of this trade below this point because this is the 59 to 52. This is where momentum kicks in. So if it invalidates that, then I will get stopped out of my long position that I'm currently holding. That's going to suck. It will be what it will be. All right. So while I got you, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. So, oh, let me put it up here. MSTR. Like I said, most of the YouTubers are spreading the FUD, man, and I really don't like misinformation because this is public information. Like it's public information. So to not do your due diligence and actually read the filing, like I hate the fudding that's taking place right now. I really hate it. Like the clickbaity stuff, I hate it. I'm gonna share this tab right here with you. So this is MicroStrategy's filing. They filed it yesterday, and it's related to the dividends, right? Again, in this first part right here, where they're expressing that it was filed on the 29th, which was yesterday's date. Um, let's just read this first part right here. On June 29th, Strategy announced that it has adopted a digital credit capital framework designed to strengthen the company's various series of preferred securities. Digital credit, I don't want to read that part. Enhance liquidity, preserve long term Bitcoin exposure. Okay, let's say that again. Preserve long term Bitcoin exposure and support long-term value creations for the company's stockholders. The framework consists of 5 principal components. And then it goes on to tell you about the approved USD reserve policy, the revised STRC dividend policy, the digital credit securities repurchase program, a common stock repurchase program, and a BTC monetization program. And then they go on to explain to you what each one of the 5 principal components consist of. I'm not going to get into all of them, but I do want to highlight this part right here. Let me see where I need to be at on this one right here. On the USD reserve policy, there was something in here. I'll just go ahead and read the whole thing. So the framework includes a board-approved policy governing the company's previously established U.S. dollar reserve. Under the policy, the USD reserve may be used only to support the payment of preferred stock under the policy. Management must maintain a minimum USD reserve equal to at least 12 months of the company's current expected annual preferred stock dividend payments and interest obligations. Any reduction below that level requires board authorization. As of June 28th, the balance, this is important, As of June 28th, 2026, the balance of the USD reserve is 2.55 billion. So they already have plenty of USD reserve on hand, 2.55 billion. The reason that at some point they may start to sell some Bitcoin is to replenish the USD reserve. But currently, they have 2.55 billion in USD reserve already. So there's no immediate selling. They're not talking about any immediate selling right now. It goes on to cover a little bit more in here. Again, this is public information. You can get this. Okay. So then I'm going to skip past all of the other stuff, the common stock, and let's just come to the BTC monetization program. So I did post this part right in here for people to review. So the BTC monetization program, the company's board of directors has authorized a BTC monetization program under which the company may sell Bitcoin from time to time for three primary purposes: to generate up to 1.25 billion of additional proceeds to fund the USD reserve. That's one reason. But right now, what we know that they currently have over 2 billion in USD reserve already. To additionally fund preferred stock dividends and interest expenses as they become payable, or to replenish the USD reserve after such payments. When management determines that it is more advantageous than issuing Class A common stock or other capital market transaction, and to additionally fund purchases of digital credit securities or Class A common stock, including related taxes, fees, transaction expenses under the repurchase program described above. Any Bitcoin monetization outside of these purposes or in excess of these authorizations, so these three right here, anything outside of this would require further board authorization. The BTC monetization program has no fixed expiration date, may be modified, suspended, or terminated at any time, and does not obligate the company to sell any Bitcoin, fund any dividend payments or interest expense through BTC monetization, or repurchase any securities. So all this information in here is public information, but the FUD has begun. Michael Saylor dumps 1.25 billion of Bitcoin. Can you believe that? And these are people that I have respected for a very long time that I'm seeing these videos come from. And it's a shame. So right now you can see how much Bitcoin Michael Saylor has. Right now it's 847,363 BTC is what they have. I think their last purchase came from last week. So just last week they bought more Bitcoin. Make it make sense. But as far as this week is concerned, because this was filed yesterday, no Bitcoin purchases were made this week. This is where they actually made their purchase right here. So just bear that number in mind, where I said 847,363 on June 22nd. Strategy announced updates with respect to its Bitcoin holdings because they ended up buying some more Bitcoin just last week. That boosted them up to 847,000 Bitcoin. They haven't bought any more since then. This is what the number was prior to that, because this is where they had sold the 32 Bitcoin. They had sold 32 freaking Bitcoin. And you can see at that point, this is where they had the 843. So just last week, they bought some more Bitcoin. But Let these YouTubers, I have no respect for them right now because I hate flooding. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous to do that. You have a responsibility and an obligation, and it's very dangerous to do what they have been doing. But I just wanted to make sure you had some information pertaining to this filing that took place yesterday by MicroStrategy. So I don't think that there was anything else in here I really needed to cover in here. Again, public information. You can go to the SEC and pick this up yourself and read through it. I think I covered the gist of this information that's in here right now. Now, what strategy did do, I'm going to go ahead and start deleting some of those tabs that I had open in here. What strategy did do to help grow their USD reserve was they sold MSTR. They were selling MSTR. I remember covering the sale on MSTR back when it wasn't that long ago. I think it was last week or something like that. Whenever I was posting on the trend line that I was watching, like that very important trend line for strategy, which we end up breaking below that. I think it was 105. We end up breaking below that. So you can see in here where they have been taking the initiative to sell strategy to build up their reserve distribution. So they have been selling strategy, and you can see through here a couple of the different 144s that they filed and their form fours, which indicates, okay, yeah, we did make that sale on MSTR, which is why MSTR failed. This is why MSTR failed to hold right through here. This is what I had been posting on for MSTR, looking at a retracement back into this zone here on 105. But even just the day, yeah. But for several days, the selling continued through here. You can see the filings for the sale order that took place right in here. So as soon as it got down here towards this line, they were selling more MSTR, which is why it ended up breaking through here. And then it broke through this trend line right here, which we have back tested, which is where I let you know that I sold strategy at this point yesterday after we got the bounce up, after we realized that MicroStrategy had actually bounced off of that gap fill down here. My idea yesterday was I could be petty and wait on 75, but that looks pretty good. Who's scared to take this trade on MicroStrategy? I'm going to do it. And entered and bought strategy and then sold it right there. So we'll see if it can't get through this trend line. I don't know how the FUD is going to work. I have no idea how it's going to work. If it does come down and wants to, break below the gap fill, then I'll be looking at 75.04. But as far as I can see right now, the selling has stopped for MSTR. The last thing that was filed was the report from yesterday, and that was the 8K report, just implementing their new strategy for dividend payouts. Okay. All right, so let's just jump back over here on Bitcoin. That is continuing to have a little bit of a struggle right in here. Again, at a shallow retracement point, 382, 50% retracement, a shallow point to prior resistance times right here. We did just break this above this trend line that we had been underneath, but it's early. We got these lows in here too, so that's a big thing. We're immediately popping into resistance right here, but once we can break it, then great for Bitcoin. I am still holding the Zcash long trade from yesterday. I have not taken any profit from it. I have moved my stop loss, however. If you are, or if you did take that trade yesterday, it has given up a lot of that pump yesterday because Bitcoin did sell off. So this was the Zcash long trade set up right here. My stop loss has been adjusted. I didn't adjust it here on this chart because I like to be transparent with you when I do. I like to keep things the same until I stream again, so you'll know. But we're back at this trend line right here. Need to see it hold. If not, I'm going to get stopped out, and I'm going to actually give up a little bit of capital because, again, I haven't taken any profits out of this long setup just yet. Haven't taken anything from it. Is for me is we go all the way, or yeah, they scrape a few dollars out of me. That's where I'm at on this Zcash long trade. All right. There was a situation in here with Hyperliquid as well. Hyperliquid is following Bitcoin a lot closer, so I stayed away from hype. Um, Maybe we can just back test this breakout right here and hold on. Maybe we could do that, but it's not looking too good right now, especially with Bitcoin struggling the way it is. This was Hyperliquid. Um, Yesterday it did break above here, so I deleted any possibility of it getting a breakdown, and then I added the channel top back in here, and it did reject right there twice before actually breaking up, and now it's moving along with Bitcoin. So I'm gonna take this off the chart now. Now that we have covered that, um, I just continue to work with these same three little zones I have in here. You really need, I mean, the structure looks bullish, but it requires Bitcoin to get to pop up. But the structure does look, uh-oh. Let me reduce the line size. I'm just being anal right now. So no need in drawing a line underneath it. It either holds or it fails. End of story. It'll fall back to this trend line right here if it's not going to hold up, especially if Bitcoin isn't going to hold up. Okay, but structurally it looks nice. It just doesn't guarantee that it's gonna get the pop to the upside though. Um, it is back at the trend line that we've seen it bounce from many times. Usually it breaks below that trend line. Remember, I was saying that to you yesterday. Usually it'll break below it and then come back up above it. This time it just tapped it and bounced up away from it. So I mean, it's there. And then of course we added this top one in here yesterday to say, you know what, we've seen a couple of times where it failed in here. That's one from where we had that channel in here. Then that's another one right there. And then the one at the top right here where it failed at. And you can see what that is on the RSI 67, 17, and 3610. But this is on a Qcoin chart. So you have to be on Qcoin to generate the same information, or you just come over here and you just find your highest point on your RSI from this current consolidation zone. And then I'm not using the lowest point. The lowest point is actually down here, but I'm assuming that it's not going to I'm assuming the RSI at this time is not looking to break down that low, but this is where the bounces have occurred from. It'll break below and then it'll reclaim, break below, and then reclaim. Sometimes it doesn't always pan out the way you expect for it to. It put in bullish divergence right here before it actually played out there, break down and then bounce up. And now you got the back test right here for it. But like I said, it really depends on Bitcoin at this point. And Bitcoin is not getting the follow through at the moment. At this moment, it's telling me that it's geared up for it on the 15-minute time frame. Bitcoin is, but it's just not following through. But that it is, bulls are actually trying to fight in this zone. It's just not following through. Um, 1 hour is also starting to look a little bit better. So I'm digging the 1 hour time frame. Actually, let me fix this. I do want to make sure I can see all of them. Take this away. That's just, 786 of this retracement. This is just a regular retracement fib extension into the 786 there. This was the trend line that you were seeing on the 15-minute time frame. I could set it on this one. Yeah, so you can see that this is the trend line connecting these two lows right here, and then it bounced, and then it bounced again right there. So that's this one. Let me just make it a solid color and make it brighter for you there. I actually changed where the resistance was coming at for Bitcoin. I was looking at the value area low because on the daily time frame, but then I realized yesterday, you know what, just really need to look at the resistance level because that's exactly where it's been coming from. It's been coming from the lows on the daily time frame and not so much the value area low. Not so much that, even though you want to see it be able to break into that value area low and flip it into support, which it hasn't done, but the actual resistance is coming in at the daily lows. Using a Binance chart, you can see what that number is right there, 60,884.62. But looking better here on the 1 hour time frame. From what I can tell, it is looking a lot better. Not out of the clear yet, but looking better. Of course, we were looking at the bear divs that we were putting in through here with our attempts to the upside. So, did we put in more bear divs yesterday? Yeah, we sure did. Just was this yesterday? Yep. Yeah. So, uh, uh, yeah. Not going according to plan. Let me stretch this out. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that line was okay. And then, of course, it looks like a bear flag, obviously. It looks like a bear flag. And again, we have been putting in bearish divergence all through here. So, the 4 hour just still not giving it to us. I've been anticipating something from this 4 hour, and this 4 hour is still just not giving it to us. And the only way I see it giving it to us is if it can get a firm break above here. That's not happening, which is, that's different from how I would normally draw them out. But that is what it is, like a firm breakout above here would be necessary. And take that away. So not looking too good on the 4 hour. Also on this 4 hour too, as we're trying to hold on to this little low, the MACD, you can see how the delta is right here around this zero line. I don't like that because it could easily just start to spill back over. But we know that we're not there yet too. MACD is still far from zero, still very far from zero. So yeah, MACD doesn't look great. It doesn't look great at all. Not at all. And again, bear flaggy looking situation right here for Bitcoin. I'm hoping that that 4 hour will deliver. I'm hoping that it will deliver. So here on the daily time frame right here, you can see where we were actually rejecting from underneath here. The lows right in here is where we had been rejecting from. So I just I took off the profile, which is here, the fixed range volume profile, which is here. Like you can see, we're not closing above here. So we're not, actually, I think we did one time right there yesterday. We did, and then we broke down below it again. Um, but as far as the resistance is concerned, it's up here a little bit more. You can even come as low as this point right here if you want to get more touches. Just do something like that to get more touches because that's a little lower. These low, well, yeah, those lows are a little lower than the actual body closure here. I just put it on the body closure there, but yeah. And so this again, you can see that that was synced in on the 15-minute time frame. So if we do manage to get a pop up today, we can look back at that potential short entries. Do reside around that 60,755 if you go with that and buy next chart again. Uh, but yeah, and we keep chopping and trying to hold on here. So you can see those same lows coming through here and that try I don't know if you want to call it a triangle or just a bear flag right here. I hope that's not too noisy for you. uh yeah, I mean, you can see this again, how we're hanging on, how we're just hanging on. We initially ended up breaking through here, but you can see how we're straddling this ascending trend line right here. And if drawn properly, you have to draw it properly. So from the low, actually it's this one right here. My bad. So it's this one right here. So it's from this point right in here before we get the actual breakout into here. Otherwise, this is the next one right here. So make sure you're not cutting through anything when you actually draw it out. Because a lot of people will try to fix it so that it for touch points, but I just like to keep it thorough. I just want it to touch exactly what it's touching and nothing more. Uh, clean observations is what I have to have. But trying to hang on there. And then on the monthly, again, same thing. If you want to go with the horizontal, we have been breaking below that. Have been breaking below that. Do have that VWAP just slightly down below that at 57,100.14. And this is, I think I put that there because of the volume. Yeah, I put it there because that was the largest volume spike for this move to the upside. Came in right here. And so that's why it's on that. Also, it's the low, so it helps. It's also the low with this decline in volume we got through here. This was our one pop in volume when we initially got this one. That was our one pop in volume that broke above this descending trend line right here for Bitcoin. And it could be adjusted now, but that was our one. That was our one little pop. Bullish dibs on volume. This closes today and see how much it changes, but bull dibs on the monthly time frame as far as volume is concerned. We know we have it on the weekly. We know we have it on the daily now. We also have it on the make sure that those are, yeah, we know we have it on the daily and the weekly, and you can count this as well as bullish divergence here on the monthly time frame. Let's see. We're almost close to making this drop below here and then look for the reclaim. You can see how this has worked in the past. And it's looking at oh yeah, I modified this one because of the bull div. I was about to say like, okay, hold on, I'm not seeing this over here. Yeah, but this I've had on my chart here for a while. You've seen it in past videos, but we are getting closer to breaking through this one and then getting the reclaim. You can see this prior one over here is this one. So we broke it and then we reclaimed. And this one I would have done the same thing like this, but because we actually put in the divergence, I don't do it here. So if you look, you can see where it made some sort of a attempt right here and it failed it. And so then that forces me to look at the next pivot, which ends up being this one. And then we get the bounce up from there. But we're close. We're close. One thing I like to watch for again on the monthly time frame is Bitcoin. It couldn't do it, guys. It couldn't do it. Maybe we have to take the liquidity from that trend line and then we can get the pop. Or maybe we have to take some liquidity from the low to add some fuel to price action. You can't force it to work. Let me just check and see if I've gotten stopped out here yet. Not yet. All right. I like to see the 50. Historically, whenever the RSI closes above the 50, it does not make a new low. Price doesn't make a new low. So that would be something nice to see. But this has worked every time. You can see right here is the start of actually you end up catching, the low right there, up and away right here. Same situation over here, slightly different. I'm actually using this low right here. You can't really see it over here. Actually, let me just take this away. You could have just did the 50 on this right here, but you can see how it works. We're almost there. We're almost there to that break, and then that reclaim though. We're almost there. So what I was saying is that maybe we have to break below here and take some liquidity off of this trend line, or maybe take this low of liquidity. I don't see it needing to do this much to get a bounce, not off of the 15-minute time frame. I don't see that. But we are bloody. Hmm. what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to, we can already see, like I said, the bounce off of this trend line right here. And that I'm going to move this for here. And that for there. I don't think that we need to take out this to, to make it happen, but I have no control over what this market chooses to do. Just in case, I could change this. Actually, let me see if I change this to just be uh, yeah, that would have gave it that. And then this right here. Hmm. All I can do is just wait for wait for if price is gonna get down here, just wait for it to get here and just see how it reacts if that happens. Um, Likely not gonna keep this one on here, but let me see because I don't know anything about this just yet. Let's see what it comes in line with. Oh boy. Hey, I'm just gonna leave these two on here for now. We're trying again. Quite the struggle. Quite the struggle. Let me see if there's anything else happening today that's Charter Communication got a pop yesterday. It was not a chart that I had been following, but as I was getting my market updates together, that was brought to my attention. Um, there is no evidence of this contract just yet, but it did cause Charter to spike up yesterday. Some sort of partnership between Charter and SpaceX um, came up yesterday. So it pumped like over 20% yesterday. It has since given up much of that pop yesterday and retraced into the golden pocket where it was holding that when I looked at it earlier this morning. If you guys wanted to take a look at that, and I don't know, maybe CHTR charter. You can see how it gave up a lot of that move right here. Let me put this on a 4 hour at least. So on the 4 hour time frame, you can see it a lot better. So it gave up a lot of that. And it's hovering around this golden pocket right now. But you can see this nice push to the upside. It was a pretty decent pop up yesterday. Yeah, 26.92% pop based on that information. But like I said, I haven't seen anything that confirms any of this just yet. And you can see right here, oh, no. This is something different. They're talking about the partnership. They're talking about the talks. Uh, but it did cost Charter to get that pop up. So I don't know. Maybe it's something that you want to watch um, and consider. I don't trust any of it just yet. I don't trust it just yet. Um, I want to see some documents or something, but you're around these highs and around this golden pocket. So I just figured I'd throw that out there at you just in case you were looking for something, uh, some new investment that could actually give you some nice returns. You know that Charter used to be 700, I believe it was. Hold on, let me turn some noise off before I do this. And you can see, actually, it used to be way more than that. It's staying all the way up here. But it's supposed to be a cellular agreement, a cell phone agreement. It's interesting. That wipeout though. And so you're gonna notice that when I go back down to, you can see how this trend line looks right now, but you'll notice that when I go down to the 4-hour time frame, how it puts it directly underneath those lows right there. Instead of as the resistance, that price action popped back inside of this breakdown zone. And you can see it's kind of like back testing it right here on this weekly time frame. But again, on the 4-hour time frame, it puts it directly underneath and classifies it as the bounce zone. So maybe if you go on your 4-hour plot your line off of your weekly time frame, maybe, if it doesn't hold there, maybe it wants to revisit here or something. Maybe. All right, it's Bitcoin trying again. Trying again. Let's go take a look at that. But you know what? I would actually buy it at that point if it did come back down here. But here at these highs in this golden pocket right now, I don't think I want to try this one right now. Amazon did good if you had been here for, brought it up yesterday. It actually broke out of the pattern, which is why I'm bringing it up again today. It actually did break outside the pattern, but it hit resistance through here. So we're looking at the lows through here because it had the bullish divergence, of course. And again, like I said, Amazon started selling off way earlier than the rest of, its counter, top 10. It started selling off sooner than them. So it was a good idea to look for that long position down in here. And then yesterday with the market, it got this pop up into these resistances here, 244, 247 right in here, and just consolidating sideways right now. I haven't seen any let's say magnificent 7 face key test after June slide. Okay, 1 hour ago, Amazon to open fully robotic logistics center in Poland. Okay, great. Just real quick. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So kudos to anybody who trust me on Amazon. I'd be making good calls on Amazon. If it's one I do good with, it's Amazon. It's Amazon. Been doing Amazon some justice. SpaceX, it had some problems yesterday, but it did hit the target we were looking at in here. I was looking at this target yesterday. You can see we're looking at the fact that it was going to get this pop out. It came up, and then you can see when market opened, it started to do some weird stuff like everything else did. Even Bitcoin didn't go according to plan yesterday, but it eventually got to push up. But nothing went according to plan yesterday. Like we started out on the right track, understanding what we were looking for in the market, and then it looked like it was going to go south, and you just really had to keep faith. But it came up here and it hit this target zone that we were looking at yesterday, which was just this candle body. to wick high over here for the pattern that it had through here. Got that little rejection. We'll see if it wants to continue up. That structurally, that looks nice. It looks like it wants to continue to move up. It looks like it wants to continue to move up. Um, which chart were we on yesterday looking at it? Okay, it's trying to pick it up. I can't remember which time frame we was on yesterday when we were looking at it. That gave that clue on that pop. I can't remember which chart we were looking at. But again, you can see it a lot clearer, like what happened yesterday. Started to push up, and then it does this, and then it goes in the direction that we were looking at yesterday morning. Let me see. I mean, everything looks like it wants to continue up. A lot of stuff looks like it wants to continue up, but I'm not sure. I'm not really sure today. It seems like every morning now, whenever I'm seeing something, it's like the market opens and then it it plays around too much. And last thing I want is for somebody to get hurt. Let's take a look at SPY. Because same situation, I was saying to you yesterday that SpaceX looks like it was going to get a pop, and I said SPY looks like it's going to get one, which makes me believe that Bitcoin is going to get one. And then we looked at MicroStrategy, and it's like the 2-hour time frame on MicroStrategy looks pretty good, and and then market opens, and then it plays a little bit. Like even here, like on SPY yesterday, it did come back in and fill in this gap right here. You can't tell it here off of this 1-hour time frame. I think I looked at it from a 4-hour perspective, and then you can see this gap gets filled right here. So we were on the rise. We could see that we were going to get this pop out of SPY as well. I think I was looking at SPY from this time frame. I do believe that I was. Yeah, I was looking at it from this time frame. Still not playing out fully there, but I'm about to fill in this gap here on SPY. Maybe I mean it's just another 4-hour time frame that's not doing the thing that I'm looking forward to do. Just like Bitcoin, it's like I'm gonna break up. I'm gonna break up, and then it just doesn't break up. It just keeps doing this crazy volatility stuff. So it still looks like it has more room to the upside. It still looks like it. We talked about the bear. We were talking about the similarity here in the bearish divergence, but getting through that, ugh, it has to invalidate this current potential bearish divergence here against this high. It does have to do that. So hopefully, this little green light right here will do something a little bit more. Actually, let me see what the Bollinger looks like. Was it the 2-day? Hold on. Was it the 2-day? Oh, 2-day trying the thing on sale. Let me go back over here to this. Let me see what we got on the Bollinger. Okay, so we do have some low volatility in here. Might not be successful. I mean, I don't know. It could be ready to break out. It could be. We lighten up over here. We're lighting up green. Can it do it? Let me see. Where was this at? It doesn't look like it's going to be the most successful attempted expansion. It doesn't look like it's going to be the most successful, but I mean, overall, the chart looks like it wants to keep going up. Can today be a good day for Bitcoin? I would love for that to be the case. So there was this yesterday, and then of course MU. I like the green pine tree. I like the pine tree. Of course, they're gonna do some chicanery when the market opens. Of course, MU yesterday, same bounce area for MU yesterday. Once again, it came to this trend line and it bounced again yesterday. We're looking at this in here yesterday, assuming that it was going to get this break to the downside. The two areas to look out for. Sorry for the two areas to look out for was either it's gonna try to bounce off of here, or maybe we can get it down here towards this trend line and this gap fill right here. But those shares still have not hit the market yet. I have checked again this morning just to see and confirm, and no, the 40,000 shares that were filed to be sold still hasn't hit the market yet. Let me just check again. Check again right now just to make sure. Nope, it still hasn't. Form 4 still hasn't been filed just yet. Just the idea of that sale. And like I said, the reason why I focus on it so much is because usually when they file that 144 at the same time, they're already doing the sale. Um, but I mean, gotta go with the fact that I don't see a 144 and it was filed on Friday, so I don't see that they've actually those shares haven't hit the market yet. 40,000 shares to be sold hasn't hit the market yet. I'm just gonna have to stick with that until I see a form that tells me something different. I don't know how many times it's gonna keep bouncing off of this trend line, though. I don't think that we can hammer it too many more times and it still works. You can see how this time we actually broke. Well, I can't say that. It broke through it right there too. So I don't know how many more times it could actually come back and do this. Yeah, let me put that on. Um, and no, we're watching it on a 4 hour, so I need to be on the 4 hour. Yeah. So far, our idea has been that every time it breaks through this moving average right here, it basically comes to this trend line. It basically comes to this trend line. What we got today? What is momentum break today? Hold on, let me see. 24 hour. It's rising. I don't know if you guys noticed. I see Bitcoin is getting a little pop up here, so that's good. That the alarm went off this time, and it's trying to stick. We got 1 minute left to see. I do not want to see a swing failure on this trend line. Lord, please. But we only just pushed back into that 382 right now, so back into those lows there. The over here on MU though, that momentum. I mean, yeah, the momentum is rising because the past couple of times that we've had to put this in. The mean reversion, the number keeps going up. So now it's at 1009 on the 24-hour chart because that's what I've been working with. And that break is going to now be I'm going to put 1103. 1103 on that momentum break. So I'm using this one for the momentum break. And of course, the green one is your mean reversion. So that's what we'll be watching for here on MU today. I'm not in MU. I would buy MU. I would if it sells off. And it's got to wait on them shares to hit the market or something. All right, Bitcoin. Still not looking solid. It still doesn't look solid. Sorry, still doesn't look solid. Oh man. Let's take a look back over here at it. Yeah, it looked like it was gonna sustain that time, but again, it just came into this 382 and another rejection. There's little dojis in here. All these little dojis in here. Come on, Bitcoin. I know you can do it. We do have, let me check it back on this calendar. What we got today? We have Jolt's job openings at 10 a.m. and consumer confidence at 10 a.m. today, both reading a medium impact. And then, of course, tomorrow I think we have Warsh speaking. Is it Wednesday that he speaks? Yeah, he speaks on Wednesday, and that's at 9 a.m. I wonder if that's having some bearing on price action. Also possible. Jokes could affect market, especially knowing that Warsh is speaking tomorrow. Getting those joke numbers and then having him speak is going to create some sort of volatility here in the market today. Mm-mm-mm. SanDisk is only down 1.93% today, which is much better than what it was yesterday. I don't, let me see, what did SanDisk end up doing for us yesterday? I'm gonna take a look at gold today. I haven't looked at gold. Yeah, SanDisk actually did yesterday drop into our trend line um, right here, but you see, it really broke it. Uh, it's Bitcoin making another attempt. Uh, it broke it and then it reclaimed back above it right here. Uh, Again, I have to ask myself, why do I have monitor 12-hour and I don't have? Okay, that was a second alert for something for another cross I was looking for. That's the first time that one's went off. So maybe this one is the one that was sustaining. This might be the one that actually sustains because this other alarm that went off, this is the first time that one went off. Unless it's gonna say you're double wrong. You're double wrong, my gal. You're double wrong. All right. Go back to Bitcoin and see if the second alert. So one was set for the RSI, and then I have another one. This is the one that just went off right here. It's the first time it's actually pushing above right here. So that was that alarm right here. So can they both be wrong? Can they both be wrong? That is the question. Or is this time the time that it actually works and we break through here? We still got like a whole 9 minutes left. We just had that new 1 hour candle to open. So that's the 1 hour again. It was looking a little better on this 1 hour. Was looking a little better. Uh, Come on, Bitcoin. I know you can do it. But the 1 hour, in my opinion, it looks a lot better. Uh, it's showing also that this sell pressure, like there's some weakness from the bears. It's just not, just give it to us. Give it to us. Oh boy. There's lots of resistance right in here. I mean, it's plenty. You see that wick there, this wick over here, this wick there, these lows right here. Plenty of resistance right in here. Come on, Biddy. I know you can do it. Then we got so much resistance through here. You can see how we were holding that support there initially. Right here, right here, right here. To hold up right there, right here. And then that ends up becoming resistance there. Mm. Since we are above that, let me just let me I probably should do. I mean, yeah, we can see what our problem is. Ugh, what we gotta get past. Should I consider this wick? I'm not going to. Even though that 50 looks like it'll be our next target and rejection. If these two lows right here, these little equal points right here, closing story is, do we finally get past this 38250 at the end of the day? That's what we need to get past that. To get past this. Starting to look a little give her some time. All right. But you can see how this squeeze just, it got tighter. Got tighter. Can we do it? Can we do it? I almost feel like I should hedge. I just, we're too close for me to want to hedge from here. 2 minutes left. But maybe that's how you feel. Maybe you feel like, you know what, every time it comes up right here, I'm just going to short it. Maybe that's how you feel because you don't have to have a long bias like I have right now. Let's see. What else was there? And I was looking at I said I was going to take a look at gold. Actually, let me take a look at USDT. Okay, we got our close. Hopefully we don't see a swing failure. Don't want to see a swing failure. Hopefully that worked. All right. Hopefully, we're not about to get the swing failure. Um, you might also want to check and see if the gate is already open because they did have it open where you didn't have to pay to ride. This is just painful. This is just painful. I was looking at USDT and Hyperliquid, not Hyperliquid, but Zcash did break below that trend line. Did break that trend line. So I don't know. Maybe I should just move my stop to break even on Zcash. I'm trying not to make the same mistake that I did with Aave by having my stop a little bit too close. But I did lock in profit on Aave. I haven't locked in anything on Zcash, so maybe I should move it. If I get stopped out, then that just means I have to look for a new entry, right? I think I will move my stop loss to break even because I don't know what Bitcoin is doing right here. And if Bitcoin fails, then that trade is not going to work. I'm gonna move my stop to break even. That was a Zcash alert. Yeah, I'm just gonna move it to the break even. Not gonna pay you any money, not today. Not today. I should have taken my money while I was up, but it's my decision. Try to score bigger. Yep. So I just get stopped out and pay a little fee, trading fee. We're failing. So that's 2 momentum attempts that are failed. Well, we had more than 2 attempts, but these 2 at the same. Okay, enough. Goodbye. I don't want that to keep going off on you, so it's gone. It's deleted. Not sure which one I deleted. The Stochast, the CC is the one that I deleted. I kept the one on the RSI. I'll go ahead and disable that one too. I'm in front of the chart now so I can see it. And Zcash, and just delete that one too. It is what it is. Bitcoin, Lou 2329. Good morning to you. No, I don't only trade Bitcoin. I'm actually in a Zcash long position that was taken yesterday. I don't trade a lot of altcoins though. I don't. So as far as those are concerned, I have been looking at Zcash. I've been looking at Hyperliquid. And it's basically been those 2. Sometimes I look at the V's, but I haven't traded the V's here in a minute. For the most part, when it comes to cryptocurrency, yeah, it's Bitcoin, but I do trade stocks. Also, we'll take a position on stock market. So as you were seeing right here, this is the Zcash trade taken yesterday right here, and we came into some fun resistance up here. And giving all that back. So that's Zach. And if I, like I said, if I trade another one, it'll probably be. See who did this? Who did this? We were just over here looking at this freaking trend line. Who did it? Who did it? I can't trust Hyperliquid right now unless it's trying to break away from Bitcoin. I don't know. It looked bullish, but I just figured it'd do what Bitcoin does. Not. Yeah, I don't have a hype trade open, fortunately. That's why I was looking at this yesterday. Like, man, I should have just traded hype yesterday. I was like Zcash. I know if Zcash can break away from Bitcoin, that it's not, it's gonna really pump. But Zcash decided to. That was all it had in it. That was all the juice it had. Hopefully this little back test to hold. It doesn't look promising. Uh, you can see USDT dominance is trying to do something aggressive right here. I don't know if this. I'm usually looking at the daily time frame. Could this be a nah? I mean, quite the opposite of Bitcoin's 4 hour, obviously, where Bitcoin looks like it has a flag on that four and bear flag, and this looks like this. Hmm. And this is breaking up. Momentum is breaking up on this USDT. I'll make sure this doesn't go any further than this time frame. Actually, you know what? It can go on this time frame and lower. Yeah, this looks like it's trying to break up. That means I'm probably about to get stopped out now. Ugh, on Bitcoin. Dang, that is not nice. That is not nice. Let me just see if the volatility is actually confined within that little range right there. Yeah, it actually is confined within this little range right here. So, with success, yeah, we could dump. I don't like that. We do still have the bear divs. I don't know if we have any over here. I mean, this momentum is breaking to the upside, which it could put in some bear divs here on the 4 hour. We don't have any bullish divergence on the 4 hour right now for Bitcoin. That is true. We're back at the bottom side of our trend line now. Probably going to break down. So if you were smart enough to just keep shorting that 382, congratulations to you. I really wanted it to get past this 382, but it's just a repeat, rinse and repeat right now. That stopped me out. Yeah, that stopped me out. So I don't have a position right now. All right, so I'm back to sitting on my hands. Mm, we're still close, but I can't make it work. I should have taken that hedge. So if we lose here, I mean, we need fuel. So obviously, maybe we take the liquidity down here. We need fuel. I'm gonna drop this one down lower. I wouldn't expect for. I mean, hold on. Did that just put me? Oh no, no. Hold on. My bad. Let me just delete that one. Let's go off of this right here. If it just fuels itself off of this little piece, I would think that it would take this too. Then, right? We could be, yeah. I would think. Yeah, you know what? Forget that. Just delete that. Maybe if it takes the liquidity from here, we can look for a bounce right here at this 58,893. Possibly, yeah, right in here. It'll take that and that. If it went lower than that, nah. I just think the 4 hour. I mean the 4 hour, but the 15 minute has potential somewhere around some fuel being taken right in here, maybe. I'm gonna delete these for now. We ain't come anywhere close to hitting any of that. And then I wonder if this is all retail from the um, MSTR FUD. Hmm. We took this little bit. No, we didn't. We didn't even take that little bit right there. We didn't even take that. I can tell you right now, I am gonna make another attempt, and then I'm not gonna, market order in, of course, but I will take a look at this one, at this, maybe I should be looking at 786, and then what? We come back up here and we reject, take a short. It's reasonable. It's very reasonable that we could get a bounce from down here, just a back test here, and then enter into a short position from here for continuation down. All right, so it did just take that liquidity. No immediate reaction. Let's see. Something like that. Whether it be here, back into here, or from here, back into here. Dang, I should have just taken that short. Oh, this didn't work. Could have easily just did that swing failure. Queen of freaking swing fail. And I didn't even make an attempt to short the swing fail or the multiple rejections from the 382. No strong volume right now. Volume has been decreasing with these drops to the downside here on the 15-minute time frame. Uh, Yeah, there's no volume. There's no volume. I'm gonna stay on my hands for now. I don't like it. Hmm. Strategy continuing to sell off as well. Uh, SPY selling off a little bit on the 15-minute time frame, but I think that's a nothing burger. But it is selling a little bit on that time frame. What keep happening with my music? Um, Sandus is actually looking pretty good right now. With Sandus, it's too expensive for me. I like the 4 hour at this moment. The 4 hour for Sandus can be a long entry. Can be a long entry. 20 minutes left on this candle, and it is doing what it has previously done around this swing point right here. So I like this. Let's find this. While Bitcoin is looking like poo poo. Poo poo. I like this. It's 4 hour time frame. It's been in this mother bar about to give birth here. This mother bar is about to give birth. And this has been our breaks. Swing break. Swing break. You had a false one right here. But this has been it right here. Swing break. Yep, this has been it right here. So I like this. It looks like it's getting ready to pop. How high does it go? We should at least go 1 to 1 on this. 15 minutes left. Looks pretty good. Just threw that out there to you. Um, I don't know what they're gonna do when market open though, because you know they be crapping on my little stuff here. Uh, right before market opens. Oh, it's best that it's got rejected a little bit more. Why that looks like that? Hold on. Did I draw this from this time frame? It should not be cutting through. See Bitcoin reclining back above that trend line. I don't like it. Not even a little bit. I just want to put this back on SanDisk. Yeah, look at Bitcoin. I don't know. I don't like it. It was so slow with trying to. It was so slow with doing it. So slow with the SFP. So slow. I mean, I do like the fact that it reclaimed in here. I just don't see a reason for me to. Uh, let me just check something. No, I don't see this as the case. Let's figure out. Check it. Is it trying to hold it? Set this over back on the phone. Should I have taken that and not? Trying to get some momentum. Huh. Let's see if that trying to get some momentum. Mm. Little bullish divergence here on the 15-minute time frame. I didn't quite I mean, I saw the volume decline, not increasing. So we had the volume bullish divergence, but I can actually see it right here as well. So we got slight bull divs here. As you can see, we got bullish divs here on the RSI as well. It just hasn't been playing out at the bullish divergence right here. Also, um, the swing fell down and back up. So swing fell. Yeah, I had the swing. I moved this in case you didn't notice because we got the swing fail there, and we just got the swing fail down here. Um, the little bullish divergence. Pick a side already. Delete this one. We have bullish divergence. We have uh, what my indicator says it's going to get a pop up if it's not playing. It did get a little bit more volume towards the close with that candle. So we did see a little bit more volume than we were getting in here. A bit more than what we were getting right in here. Maybe that was where I needed to enter at, and I didn't set up the entry, but I'm not going to take it yet. We are a little bit away from that resistance at this point, which is good. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a try. I think I'm being a little bit premature. I'm gonna give it a shot. It's getting dangerous. Keep trying. I like the candle. I like volume did increase a little bit in here because earlier we just didn't have any. Um, Stop obviously has to be. uh, I entered it somewhere right about somewhere right about where this we started putting in bullish divergence from here. So we can take all of this. I still need a 3. Close enough. It's a 0.28. That's not bad. 0.28. Well, guys, it's about to be 8 o'clock. I just want to say thank you for stopping by to hang out with your girl down to Crypto TA. I really wanted it to be a little bit more here. Can't force it. We are struggling here. We are struggling here. Just trying to go along with what I can see in the chart, but we are struggling here. Ooh, it just gave up all the ghosts. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. I should just move the stop loss. I am going to kill it on this other account. Yep. You are out. Wow. Mm. I'm just gonna let it just stop it. I closed it out on my other account. I actually entered it into uh, I took it on that prop account. and I took it on my private account. The private account I closed out. Private account is what I still have open. Um, so you can see, you can see this BS. Maybe I wait on 3 drives of bullish divergence. Maybe that's it. We got 2 drives of bullish divergence. Maybe I wait on 3 drives of bullish divergence, or we invalidate the bullish divergence altogether, and then it wants to pop. Um, I figured that was not going to be enough liquidity, and it moved too slow on it. I just shoulda, coulda, woulda. Anyway, I came out better playing SanDisk. Oh man. That's what I should have did. You should have opened a trade on SanDisk. I said I was going to take a look at gold while Bitcoin is a freaking mess. Let me go ahead and take a look at gold. And then I'm going to go put salt in my wounds or something. What we got? Looks like absolute garbage still. Still looking like garbage. If he gets a push up, I'll be looking for 41.40. Still looks like trash. Not managing to really get beyond here, or possibly just back to a mean reversion on the daily time frame. And this is what we were looking at the last time. Was looking for a breakup. Swing fail right there at that messy attempt right there. Continues to look like trash. Stopped out on Bitcoin. Hooray. Um, I had this alert sitting over here for this also. Putting in bullish divergence still. Putting in bullish divergence, but not playing out. Got the bull div right underneath here. Got that initial pop back test and still not managing to go. But it looks like it might, that might be it. Didn't take this liquidity in here, which is fine. Doesn't have to. I still will only look for it to get somewhere back up into about, actually, let's just increase that 42.85. We'll say 42.85 back into this zone right here for gold, because I do like that. I do like the fact that it had that initial swing up right here. It worked, but you can tell this spread. This, I mean, the bird is flapping down right now. And it looks like it would do something like that. Unfortunately, I would like to see it get down here to this trend line. Just me being real, I like to see it get down here. The one that I deleted a few minutes ago, we were looking for that one, but as it got to it, it just looked trashy. So that was a no-go. Right now, on a break to the upside for this, it would immediately tap into here, 41.40. That's what lines up with the trend line right here. The 41.40 lines up with that. So that would be the first place right there. And again, it doesn't look like it's going to get too far, but you can catch a bounce out of it possibly here. Um, I know this looks trashy still. Yeah, still looks like garbage. Yeah. Yeah, probably got some better luck trading gold today. Again, I wouldn't look for too much, but that's not bad. So that's where I'm gonna leave it at. That is where I'm gonna leave it at. Bitcoin breaking down. Sanders actually swept that liquidity from that mother bar. Has a little red candle right here right now. Before I Jito, it swept that mother bar. I still say she gives birth today and gets to pop up. And if she does, then be looking up here. I know I've mentioned all of the insider selling and all of that good stuff. Don't do this too. We just hit the low of that trend line there on Bitcoin also with that liquidity grab. I'm not touching it right now. It's like garbage. If you want to be more conservative on SanDisk, I will let it get above here because it did just do the sweep on this mother bar high right here, and you're getting your little reaction in here right now. But I think, uh, don't matter what I think. I don't know what this is. No, I don't understand what this part is. But you could do that on this one. Uh, I don't have anything there. Okay. Let's see if this will go. I think it can go. I think it can go. You're late, but still early. Still early. Because this breaks out. I think you're just gonna get back up here. It was looking good to me on the 4 hour. I'm just gonna stick with it. We'll find out tomorrow. Oh, actually, I will not be here tomorrow. I will not be here tomorrow, so we won't find out. Yeah, this is just disaster. Disaster. Liquidity taken, no reaction. Liquidity taken, no reaction. Let me see. And see what it looks like if it comes into here or if it hits down here to this 786 right here. First instinct might have been right for the 786. Actually, that was second. Yeah. And it didn't hold any of this. And is volume still declining or no? Volume spiked up on that drop. Spiked up on this. Dang. All right. I gave enough money to the market today. Hands. Enjoy the rest of your day.